Hey friends and family, welcome to the channel. So this obviously looks like a different video and I wanted to do something where I have a weird day today. I have to go into work later as opposed to earlier. It's just the way my schedule is sometimes. And if you're like me, you have a hard time fitting important things into your schedule, let alone things that you are meaning to get around to. One of the things you might be meaning to get around to is supporting USARK. And if you don't know, USARK stands for United States Association of Reptile Keepers. And it is a lobbying group that will fight for our privileges to keep reptiles in the United States of America. They talk to Congress, they talk to our state and local legislators when that's necessary. And they fight laws that are often based out of ignorance and fear laws that are supported by the animal rights activists that don't use science. They're not interested in conservation. They want to remove all pets from American homes, period. And they start with the ones they think are going to be easy, like reptiles, because people have a fear on it. So they capitalize on that. USARK is the organization that talks to our lobbyists, talks to our representatives, and is the ones that fight for us. Now, you often hear people say they fight for our rights. In a way, that's true, but constitutionally, we have no right to keep reptiles. So that's important. That's why I always say they fight for our privileges, because that's something we want to keep, and for many of us, that's a living. I'm lucky to have a full-time job, but for some, they count on reptiles to supplement their income to feed their families. So I want to show you just how quick and easy it is to actually support USARK. So I'm going to do that right now. Share my screen. Let's go. I'm going to do it all live. There's not going to be any cuts or edits. Now we're recording. You can see my screen. I'm going to go to Google here. I'm going to go to USARK. I'm going to put this link in the description of the video as well, usark.org, that easy to get to. And this is a great day because my RAM is totally full. My internet connection is not great. So you get to see just how slow it's going to go for you. If you have any decent system, you'll be able to go faster than me. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is scroll over here to memberships. All right. This is the first thing you need to do. Don't just donate money to USARK. You need to become a member, because when you become a member, you become a number that is of membership, right? Which means that when someone says, I'm from USARK, that's not just USARK, some rich corporate organization that 100 breeders support. No, they have 40, 50, 60,000, 100,000, 2.5 million members, right? The larger these numbers get, the better it gets. This is how easy it is. So if you're in school, $20 a year is a membership. That's it. This is me. I'm a bronze member. So show you how easy it is to sign up right here. You get a t-shirt. I can select my size. Great. International member. So you can sign up even if you're not in the United States. But let's see here. I'll go here. Okay, we'll do a different address. Lane. That's in Harry Potterville. United States. California. Los Angeles zip code. 2012. Shirt size, medium, large. We use a different email. Password is, let's do a different one. All right, hopefully none of you copied my password. Must be medium or stronger. Let's see. That's it. Name on the card, Stephen Lewis. Card, won't put that in. Then you just type in your card, you hit sign up, and that's it. So that's how you can become a membership, okay? Now, if you just want to donate, let's see, I've never just donated before, so let's see. Shop, cart, checkout, no. Best management practice about, position statements, alerts, home. Let's see, right there, donate. So you sign up there. this is it. And so I wanted to do this uncut so you guys can see exactly just how long it takes. It takes nothing. Boom, type in the moment, PayPal. Anyone who's used PayPal knows that's a one-click operation. So let's see, I don't like being in this window though. Let's go back. Uh, Another thing too that is really easy to do and really important is this other part here is signing up for the newsletter. So I showed you guys the easy part, how easy it is to sign up. If you're savvy, you can steal my identity from that. So for my 12 viewers, congratulations. You have access to unlimited wealth and stability. So let's see here. So these are the newsletters. These alerts go out. I get these in my email. Some I don't for the for the local announcements, but especially the big national ones. So import, let's see this one, import export advisory. So this was sent out on June 13th. Import export advisory, certain airlines, Air Canada, reportedly Lufthansa and Thai Airways International have begun what should be a temporary moratorium on transporting cold-blooded animals in certain aircraft that have non-heated cargo bay. So this just helps us understand the business. So this is a great act too. This is what I'm interested in, the Lacey Act call to action. It's a great job. If you've made it this far, you've already completed step one. It takes only a few seconds. Do this alert first and get warmed up, then come back and complete the alert steps below. Easy alert. Okay, so let's go back to the first one because let's go back in time. So for those of you who don't know, recent work within the America Competes Act that is still trying to get passed through the House and the Senate through reconciliation. The House version of the bill had language in it that revitalized the Lacey Act in a way that really infringed upon our ability to operate as reptile keepers in the United States. It's a harmful legislation that takes power out of local groups and places these decision-making hands into a federal regulatory agency that is more of a big hammer as opposed to a chisel trying to etch out specific problems. So this was an email. And what I want to show you here is my biggest grief with with USARK. And it's not so much with USARK, it's with the people that promote it in the just simplicity. So it's going to take just a little bit of work on your end. And if you bear with me and read this, I'll show you just how quick that is. Because keep in mind, I'm doing this all live. This is, if you've gotten this far in the video and haven't done this yourself, shame on you. It's so easy. And I'm doing it at the same time. But so this is the letter they want you to email to your senators, and you can sign it and address it here. So a lot of it goes through, and they can just have you send it right through. That's amazing that you can do it right from their website. So that's where you put it in there. But one thing that I always recommend is actually reading these. So I go to Google Drive. Copy paste. There we go. Okay, so dear Madam, I oppose, that's my senator. I oppose the Lacey Act amendment buried in the America Competes Act. These amendments were not vetted, passed through due process, heard by committee, nor made public, subject to public hearings for stakeholder input prior to being sent to the Senate. Furthermore, they are not germane to the bill's stated purpose of boosting American competitiveness with other countries. These amendments have nationwide adverse impacts on business in the pet industry, veterinary medicine, aquaculture, herpetoculture, and aviculture, as well as impacting private citizens, including pet owners, hobbyists, and those involved in animal education and conservation programs. All of that is true. I oppose these changes for the following reasons. And here's where you're going to want to read it and implement your own. If you have a personal story, by all means, add to it. I added a little bit of personal stuff when I sent mine off. If you're a small business owner, say what you do, how it impacts you personally, and how many years you've spent doing it, and what it means to your life and what good you contribute to the community as well. All that stuff is good. Talk about your specific neighborhood, because that's they want to make sure that you're actually in the jurisdiction you say you're in, and they want to see that you care about the things they care about. The proposed, I oppose it for the following reasons. The proposed changes can give blanket authority to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to determine what is an injurious species, bypassing the current requirement for public input, advance notice, or comment, while aggressively expanding the service's discretionary authority to regulate the movement of injurious wildlife within the United States. The illogical interstate transportation ban means private pet owners will be unable to move across state lines with their beloved pets, including our veterinary care, educational programs, or family relocation. The handling of injurious species is a state-specific issue, not federal. The biased weaponization of the Lacey Act authority will only empower bureaucrats, ignoring the current state-based approach to specific management, importation, and communication of intent, which allows for rulemaking that is relevantly tailored to local habitats. Here's another thing that got me a little bit. So some of this language, particularly will only empower bureaucrats. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't feel that that's the aim of this legislation. I think the aim is to empower the animal rights activists who want to take animals out of our hand and who are actually writing these laws. So much like USARK goes in and says, hey, the law should be written this way. Someone else went in the first time and gave their 2 cents as to how they thought the law should be written. Because what you need to know about House and the Senate, and I don't want to spoil this for anyone who has delusions of what our lawmaking process actually is, but they're not writing any laws in the House or Senate. The laws are written by the lobbyists who suggest that these bills be put forth. Now, occasionally they do get together and they do actually pass bipartisan legislation, but the overwhelming majority of all these bills are written by lawyers who have other goals in mind. And sometimes that's conservation, sometimes that's, repeals of certain regulations that cost their company, 1% profit difference. And over the next 25, 30 years could equal $30 million. So that's who's writing these laws. And it's the same thing for laws regarding our pet industry. It's very big. It's not that all of a sudden certain senators or animal rights lovers and are aware of the issues. It's these activists and activist groups that have big funding, like HSUS, like PETA, that get the money to hire the lobbyists and the lawyers that are able to work in DC with our representatives to draft legislation, and they couch it as this, which is like a transportation issue and then an economic rebuilding issue, but they also tried to really scaremonger for zoonotic diseases and, and try and act like this is a COVID prevention technique as well, which is kind of just another, oh, it's a snake, it must be scary and carry disease, right? So it's capitalizing on the ignorance of the lawmakers. And I don't say that in a hurtful way. It's by design that they're ignorant of the issues and they rely on their constituents to tell them what they feel. Anyways, my whole point of that is I didn't agree with this language, with that verbiage. So in those cases, I take some of that stuff out. I have I'm in California, I have much more liberal representatives. Some of the language in some of these messages are very partisan in terms of their viewpoint. They'll say, common buzzwords like tyranny and the oppression of the state and things like that I've read. And you're going to want to change that to certain markets. Now, if your senator is famous for railing against those very same things, then go double down on that, right? Use more of that than you would for me. In my case, my senators are going to be cared about economic expansion for the lower and middle classes. They're going to care about environmental protection, those sort of things. So you change it to speak to their language. So even if you're not a Democrat or a liberal, if you live in a Democratic or liberal area, and you have a Democratic or liberal representative, try and talk to them in a way that's going to persuade them. I do the same. When I have to speak to representatives that are, or shoot a message to representatives that don't share the same beliefs, I don't hammer them for something that's going to shut them off. So I want them to agree with me. Sometimes that's my 2 cents. So that's what I do. You can type it, you can make changes, and then you copy and paste the whole thing, place it in the body of the email. You'll be able to send it off right here and send it even with the video, which is amazing. And it's so easy. They set it all up for you, and they have also on their homepage how to find that actual contact information for your senator and your representative, which is really easy too. So anyways, guys, if you've stayed through the video for this long, I do appreciate it. I'm going to stop the sharing now. It's that easy. If you sat through this whole video but have not signed up to be a member of USARK, you have not donated, or you have not written your congressperson or senator, or left a voicemail for your senator, then you're spending time on the wrong stuff. Get off YouTube, contact your senator, okay? This bill is still out there in the works. There's still work you can do on USARK. Go to usark.org so that you can learn more. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning something. We have a lot of new guests coming up. So there's 2 more interviews that I have booked. I'm going to announce one on Facebook very soon. So keep an eye out for that. I'll also put a link in the description here, probably at a later date, because as of today, I'm just going to put this on YouTube right away. And yeah, you'll get a chance to see that. But I hope to see you at the next live panels as well. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.